All right, it's the week of May 12th, and I just want to share some of the most interesting marketing articles that I read last week. All right, the first one, LinkedIn recently expanded its ad program, previously called Wire, and now rebranded it as BrandLink. BrandLink was initially launched in 2024, and it allowed brands to run in-stream ads within video from premium publishers like Bloomberg, Forbes, and MarketWatch. Now LinkedIn is bringing influencers into the mix, so influencers can integrate branded video ads into their posts and earn a share of the revenue. So this makes LinkedIn a lot more attractive to creators looking for ways to monetize their content and gives brands more opportunity to work directly with influencers. LinkedIn hasn't shared how much revenue they're sharing with creators yet, but hopefully we'll find that out soon. All right, next up, NVIDIA releases Parakeet 2 speech recognition model. So NVIDIA just dropped Parakeet 2, which is a powerful new speech recognition AI model. It's impressively fast and entirely open source. It can transcribe a full hour of audio in just 1 second, and it's free for both commercial and personal use, meaning that businesses and developers can modify and even sell the products they make with it. This makes high-quality speech recognition tools much more accessible than ever before. And I've used speech recognition. I use Whisper AI from OpenAI, and I use that to get a transcript from audio files for some school projects that my wife was working on. It's very slow, and but it worked okay. But this is free, and it's very fast, so I'm really excited to start using it. All right, the next story. LTTstore.com splits due to tariffs. So Linus Tech Tips, popular merchandise site LTTstore.com, has recently split into 2 separate regional stores, one specifically for the US and another for global customers. So he did this because of tariffs, basically. By creating a dedicated US site, Linus and his team can now build these tariff costs into the listed prices, and it eliminates unexpected charges at checkout. I think it's a smart move to handle rising trade tensions and to keep their customers happy. And LTT Store did put together an FAQ page to address any questions you might have about this split. For example, they talk about how this will help them improve on all aspects of customer experience so they can build in the cost of duties and tariffs into the US store, and how both stores will have separate inventory counts. So if you're running an e-commerce store, this might be something to consider if you sell in the US and to other countries. All right, next up, Creator Care launches a mental health support website for creators. So Creator Care is a new mental health service that launched in California, specifically targeting content creators. They recognize that creators often face unique pressures like anxiety, burnout, depression, and isolation. So Creator Care connects them with affordable therapy services. They use a sliding scale pricing model, and that makes support accessible even for creators without insurance. And with over 1.5 million full-time creators in the US, according to the Interactive Advertising Bureau, this service couldn't come at a better time. Now, they are only in California right now, but they did say that they plan to expand. All right, next up, Pinterest begins labeling AI-generated content. Pinterest has rolled out a new feature that labels content it detects as AI-generated or modified by AI. So this transparency initiative helps users clearly differentiate between authentic, human-created pins and AI-assisted or modified images. With AI content becoming more common, Pinterest is proactively helping its users navigate authenticity on the platform. I think it's a good thing. All right, the next one. OpenAI is using microdata for ChatGPT shopping results. So last week, OpenAI mentioned their use of structured metadata in ChatGPT's shopping recommendations. Experts now believe that this structured data is specifically microdata rather than JSON, LD, or RDF formats, primarily because Bing, which ChatGPT relies on for search results, only supports microdata markup for products and offers. So this could be something to consider if you want to show up in ChatGPT's shopping results. All right, next story. Wyze was hit by a massive tariff bill. So smart home tech company Wyze just revealed on social media that they received their first tariff bill, $255,000 for importing only $167,000 worth of goods. This huge bill underscores how recent tariffs are significantly impacting businesses. While Wyze can probably handle these costs, smaller businesses might not be able to. There are Reddit threads already about potential closures and how hard it's going to be to stay open, meaning we should probably embrace for higher prices across the board and fewer small businesses surviving these trade challenges. A lot of these small businesses are also talking about how there's just not enough time for them to figure out how to transition everything over to the US. And in a lot of cases, these products aren't even available in the US. So it's going to be a challenging time for a lot of these businesses. All right, the next story. Micro-influencer marketing shows a very strong ROI. So Stacked Marketer shares that influencer marketing is still booming, and interestingly, brands are reporting the best results from micro-influencers, or those with follower counts between 10,000 and 99,000 followers. A recent marketing report also noted influencer-driven purchases have grown dramatically across all age groups, including users over 60 years old. So if your brand is considering influencer partnerships, think smaller for bigger returns. The study also shows that mega influencers are way down. 6% for B2B, 7% for B2C. So looks like the time of brand deals with Kim Kardashian are over. And if you go to this article, you can also see many different graphs that could be helpful for determining where you want to spend some of your budget on social. For example, the channels that brands plan to use the most in the future are Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And X and Snapchat are at the very bottom. And those same channels are pretty much the same thing that you're seeing creators investing more time in. All right, the next story. Google appears to be losing users in Safari. So during the ongoing Google antitrust trial, Apple revealed something pretty interesting. Searches on Safari, which uses Google as its default search engine, have declined for the first time in 22 years. Analysts are attributing this historic drop to the rise of AI-driven search alternatives, highlighting that users are becoming less dependent on traditional search methods. This could signal the beginning of a major shift in the online search landscape. All right, the next story. Pinterest is quickly becoming a go-to place for search. According to Adobe's March 2025 survey, 36% of consumers are starting their product searches directly on Pinterest. Separately, Rand Fishkin also recently highlighted this trend on his LinkedIn account, noting Pinterest growth particularly among niche communities like game designers, who prefer visual inspiration over text-heavy search results. So definitely something to consider if you're a brand with a lot of visual aspects that are important to your customers. Could be worth checking out Rand Fishkin's SparkToro and see where your audiences are spending time. All right, my last story. Removing Google Maps from pages might hurt your SEO. So there was a recent search pilot study that found that removing embedded Google Maps from local landing pages resulted in a noticeable 7% drop in organic traffic for the site that they tested. So this suggests that Google Maps embeds might serve as a critical local relevance signal for SEO. And it's a great reminder for marketers. It's always important to test things before removing key elements from your site, or you could risk unintended traffic losses. All right, that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want more, I post these on my LinkedIn profile every week. So yeah, check me out over there, or just stay tuned for next week when I publish another video. All right, I'll catch you next time.